what's up, y'all? It's Lee.
I'm Jordan.
And this is the Mind Your Business podcast. Join us weekly to learn how to mind your business.
Or at the very least, be able to tell people how to mind theirs, honey.
Drop the beat.
Boom.
Mind it, ho. Back again.
Oh, your lines was good on that,
For
friend.
another show.
Okay. This is episode
26. Yeah. 26.
What's up?
So, welcome to episode 26 of the Mind Your Business podcast.
It's us. It's we.
It's us.
Back again.
I was gonna sing the Nicki Minaj thing, but I couldn't remember the line. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Back again. Back again. We gotta make another word.
But instead, then you're gonna be like, you got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend.
Hey,
But you say you're just a friend. Oh, baby, you.
R.I.P. Biz Marquis.
Oh, that was good.
I have to sing it like
You
that.
did,
R.I.P.
friend. That
Biz
was
Marquis.
good.
I did it, yeah.
That was good.
Professional rap artist.
Freestyle queen /
Yeah.
king. FPE. Yeah.
So yeah, R.I.P. to Biz Marquis. He'd been in hospice for a while.
See, I didn't know that, so I just didn't know any of
Well, they
this,
were
apparently.
reporting that he had passed away like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I tend to find when people report those kinds of things, even if it's not quite true, that there's some truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was on hospice, and I think it was related to diabetes complications.
Mm-hmm.
And that he just, didn't quite shake back from it. So R.I.P. to the legend, Biz Marquis. Yeah. So we are here.
Couldn't wait for you.
Friend.
Okay. No? Okay. All right.
So
Maybe next time.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
this is gonna be an interesting episode because it's been a hell of a day.
Yeah, bro. It's been emotional. It's been some ups and some downs. It's been some laughs. Almost got attacked by a roach.
Because the renovators for Jordan's house was leaving the door open.
Mhm.
And a big gigantic roach was on the wall. And
Yeah.
y'all, I should have got it on camera.
You know, I just have a thing with bugs. And so when I kill them, I scream because I think they're going to retaliate against me and then murder me.
Because I just knew the roach was gonna start flying.
Yeah, she took out running at one point, so I just
Because
want
I
you to
thought
know.
it was on my wig.
The real G was me, because I stayed and I fought.
I ain't fighting a roach, man. I'll fight the grossest before I fight a roach.
So, yeah,
You can have the house.
that's that.
So yeah. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
How was your week?
I think I had a good week. My weekdays are pretty much the same. Nothing happens. That's normal. And then I had the weekend. I took some time. I uploaded most of the YouTube videos. And so now I just need to add the episode descriptions to each one of them. And then I will publish those. And so those will be out there for the masses to see. And yeah, for the most part, I just spent my week chilling, reflecting, trying to figure out what's next. I think that's generally what's going to be like my scope of reference for the next few weeks. And so my week was cool. There ain't nothing going on over her.
Okay.
What about yours?
Well, I spent
That's Shannon, y'all.
that's
If y'all
Shannon.
hear the little clackers, that's Shannon.
Oh, your feet are wet. Okay.
Yeah, he just got back from using the bathroom.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Shannon.
I'm trying to be a professional.
Yeah, we're trying to have. Don't lick that. Oh my God.
And then he's
Oh my God. So my week, I was in the process of moving.
Oh yeah. So, new place.
So
Fancy.
for those who don't know, me and my brother, we live together, and we moved out of our last house. My brother actually purchased the house, so congratulations to him. Yeah. So we were in the process of moving, and oh my gosh. On top of just being tired, because I get up at 4 a.m., 4:50, because I won't be getting up on time. And trying to, get to work and all that kind of stuff. Then having to come home, having to pack. As soon as I get home, like, no sit down me time. Mm-hmm. Having to pack and then take stuff over to the new house. And come back and then take a shower and try to unwind. And I was running on like 3-4 hours of sleep every day, but we finally got everything moved.
Yeah, I seen your snap. You was like, "This is not for me. I am over it. I'm ready for it."
It's not. I said next time I move, everything going in the box, including me.
Yeah, that is a thing that is necessary for sure.
Yeah, the dog is going in a box. Like, everything is going in a box. Because I was just like, we were trying to take some stuff ourselves and leave the big stuff for the movers. Forget that. They're going to charge us the same price anyway. Mm-hmm. You're taking all the boxes. Mm-hmm. But I was telling Jordan that I was like, moving is such an emotional experience because I was getting rid of things. And on top of leaving the house that we've been in for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And, I would say the memories, but we ain't do nothing. But, just the comfort. But then I was throwing away things. I had things from, like, exes and stuff like that. That not that I'm still connected to him, but then you just kind of see it and you kind of held on to it, and then you're like, oh well, I guess I need to let it go. Mm-hmm. And so then you're reflecting on that time in your life, just different things, just all kinds of different things. So I'm really happy that we got that situated. Other than that, I didn't really have much going. Mm-hmm. I don't think.
Yeah, moving is a traumatic experience in some cases.
Yeah, it is.
Because it makes you confront things that otherwise you would have never really thought about, never talked about, never discussed. Once again, you hear Channing. That's him. He's trying. We got to get momentum before we go up the stairs. It's gonna make a loop round, so it got a little louder. And
okay,
we gonna do it again.
Okay.
It wasn't enough momentum. It's coming around. You got this, baby. Yeah, you got. Oh, don't get distracted. Yeah, come on. You got it. Babe, they added the new stuff to the stairs, so he doesn't
put him up there.
He doesn't know what to do with the tape stuff.
How much you can see the tape?
Oh yeah, you can see the tape. You don't think you can see the tape?
I don't know.
I was blind, so you probably could see.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like enough to know that it's something.
I'm gonna edit that out.
We're gonna put the beep right there. Okay. So moving is a traumatic experience.
Yeah, like it's a thing. It makes you confront emotions and different things that you otherwise would never really have touched. Mm-hmm. And so, when I relocated from H-Town to Dallas, it was one of the most difficult things that I had ever done in my life. And we were really settled in Houston. Like, money was good, house was good. It was an older house, so it had so much more character than this house. It was like built in the 50s, 60s, and so it was just like, I just loved that house. It was mature trees and family oriented. It was like picturesque. Everybody did Halloween decorations, fall decorations. It was a thing. And so when I moved up here, I was in the extended stay. And they be fighting and hollering. The police be showing up. I was just like, Lord, what is this meaning? But, so I will never really move again like that, because it's just too much for me.
Yeah.
I am a person who likes my routines, homeostasis, me please. I ain't trying to go nowhere.
Yeah. And we were only moving 15 minutes up the road. We went from Louisville to Euless. And I just was like, ooh. Wait. And when we moved the first time from one street in Louisville down to the other street, it was not like it was not like this. it was just so much. I was crying every night. Ooh, I was crying. But now it feels, I feel okay. You know, we're getting adjusted, getting some little small renovations that need to be done. So yeah, that was pretty much my week.
Okay. What you did this weekend? Nothing. Oh, nothing?
Nothing?
Because I FaceTimed you or Snapchatted you or something. Because I had to send her a video, let her know. I don't know why she be hating on me
Anyway.
and my success.
I was trying to cook my spaghetti. Wasn't nobody worried about Jordan. Wasn't nobody worried.
I don't be having nothing to talk about, but I just be wanting to talk about random things. I don't be wanting to talk about nothing deep necessarily. But, and you know, so that's just the best way to come up with conversation. I'd be like, you's a hater.
I did start a new TV show, even though I'm like months late after everybody else. So we started P-Valley last night.
Oh, yeah.
While I was getting my hair
I'm gonna
braided.
watch that. And
I liked it, but I ain't got stars. So now I'm going to have to borrow Hammer thing.
somebody send us some stars.
Somebody let me borrow your stars thing.
Or put some 5 stars on our reviews.
Because that's what you really could
on
do.
the podcast.
That's what you could do.
That's all the stars we need.
Huh. But no, really, like, send me your stars login. I promise to God I won't share it with nobody.
Except for me, maybe me.
Maybe Jordan.
But I may have it. I don't know.
I think y'all
I may
both
have.
will.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah.
Okay.
So,
I love.
do we want to go into the request that somebody gave us? Because we're worldwide podcasters and somebody sent us a request for a topic, follow suit, y'all.
Yeah, let's go there first.
Okay. So I had somebody ask me to talk about basically what she was asking, how do you fall out of love with somebody? Like the relationship is ended and you just can't seem to shake love. How do you make it dissipate? How do you make it go away?
Okay.
So I talked to her in the moment, but you know, she also wanted dialogue on the podcast. But I told her that you don't. You can't make yourself fall out of love. If you could, it would be so easy. There's a reason why you can't make yourself fall in love, can't make yourself fall out of love. Those are organic things that you're not supposed to be able to control that way. I told her that when you are in a relationship and that relationship ends, those feelings don't go anywhere. That person does you wrong, those feelings don't go anywhere. You have to learn how to continue your walk with this existing feeling. You learn where to put it. And so I gave her the example of an ex that I have, and as dirty as she did me, we're still really good friends. And we were young then, so let's add that disclaimer. We were young and people do stupid stuff, but it broke me. It really did. And so when people ask me, so where did the love go? Like, it didn't go anywhere. It just evolves into something different. There was never a point where I was like, I'm not in love anymore. I just got to a point where I didn't let love phase my walk.
Yeah.
And so when I was talking to this particular person, she was saying, you know, she's just having a really hard time. And I guess when you add on top of it that she's still kind of talking and dealing with the person, in a sense, I think that makes it harder. I do think that you have to separate yourself from the person, so that you have to walk alone. Otherwise, it becomes a codependency and not love. But I don't know. That's really kind of the only advice I could give her. I was just like, you know, you have to find a place and say that even though I have these feelings, they're not cohesive with what I'm doing now. There's not a place in my life for these feelings to continue to grow or manifest or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to take these and put this into this box. It doesn't make it go away. Excuse me. It doesn't make it go away. It doesn't make it not exist anymore. And it doesn't make the walk any easier.
Right.
It's just, you know, you're doing your work. And eventually, if you stop talking to the person all the time. But if you put your feelings somewhere where they're safe and you're real with yourself about your feelings, you do your work, you do your walk, you eliminate the possibility for an unhealthy codependence, you'll find that there's not really a day that you wake up and be like, I'm not in love with them anymore. It's just a day that you wake up and you say, well, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next leg of my journey. I've been walking, now I'm ready to go uphill a little bit.
Yeah.
Whatever uphill looks like, dating somebody new, moving away, but whatever your next level is. But my biggest concern for her was just that codependence.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said, is this love or is it codependency? Because a lot of people get the two mixed up.
Yeah. Comfort.
Yeah. Comfort, money, just conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because maybe you don't have somebody that you can talk to all the time, and this person is somebody that you can talk to all the time. Somebody that knows deep, dark secrets and, you know, talks to you anyway. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's all about thought, feelings, and behavior. It's about that whole chain. And so our thoughts can change a little bit faster than our feelings can.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit more momentum to move our feelings concerning a subject. Maybe not so much with thoughts. And so, you know, Lee mentioned kind of getting away, separating yourself. The importance of separating yourself from that individual is so you can gain perspective and knowledge. Mm-hmm. With perspective and knowledge on the things that's happened in the past, who that person was, who you were, some of the healthy and unhealthy things that was happening in the relationship, then you can get a better idea of what occurred there, and you can say, okay, well, this was the love in that phase, but we didn't understand this, and I didn't know this. And now that I know these things and understand these things, I can better categorize the love that we had in that phase. Mm-hmm. And so as your thoughts begin to change, which happens with time, about the person and about the relationships, so will your feelings.
Yeah.
But your feelings are a little bit more centered. They're a little bit heavy. They sit in your gut. And so, you know, knowing that it takes time and knowing that you're restructuring the way that you think about a person, the way that you look over the past year or 2 years or 3 years, the way, you know, that you interacted with them is now different because hindsight is what?
2020.
2020. And you have that now. And so understanding that, you know, I may have to do a little bit more additional work to understand what a healthy relationship is. What are healthy boundaries? Maybe listen to a podcast. You know, and all of those things go into what you think, and then it changes how you feel, and then it changes how you behave, and then the next thing you know, you're like, I'm a completely different person. But it takes time. It's a gradual process. Nothing is a immediate bloom. Everything has a winter, spring, fall, and a summer. And in the summer, it'd be hot.
As hell.
And in the winter, it'd be cold. It'd be blizzards. Okay? And so, you know, just keeping that in mind and knowing that, you know, those thoughts are connected to the feelings are connected to a behavior. And as time goes on and you get more wiser and you learn more, all of what you thought changes. And so what you feel changes. You got this.
You are just, you know, I don't know. It just be the way with words for me.
Oh, thank you, boo.
Yeah, you speak in like poetic lingo, and it's just so beautiful.
Poetic justice. Okay, I messed it up, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. You can't get one without the other.
And I think just one last thing to add on, you have to allow yourself to feel every stage. And I think that is something that we as humans have been trying to find a way to do since the beginning of time, is how do we not feel this?
Yeah.
And, you know, you're supposed to feel that is a healthy thing to feel. Mm-hmm. It's normal to be sad, angry, upset, confused. These are all feelings that come with change. No matter what the change is, whether new job, loss of a loved one, loss of a friendship, new relationships.
Yeah.
You know, just with anything. You have to allow yourself to feel and to just exist in the storm. And I think that's what people have a hard time to do, because that requires a certain amount of vulnerability and honesty with yourself. And I think the quicker that you allow yourself to be open and to be honest, the quicker you can begin to heal. Mm-hmm. People get their heart broken 30 years later, still be stuck. Because they just won't be open, honest, vulnerable. Because one thing my mom has always taught me is that life is going to keep going with or without you. So if you want to stay stuck in 1996 when you got your heart broke, then to a degree, that's a personal choice.
With the flip, dude.
With the flips.
You know, we was having the flips. Some people had the multiples.
Layers. I mean, you have to make a conscious choice to say, you know what? I'm going to feel this and it's going to suck. And, you know, you'll have several good days and then have a really bad day and feel like, what happened? But that's the norm. That's grief. And it's not linear.
Yeah. And, like, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. I don't want to limit grief to death.
Yeah.
Grief is generally a way of life. We are grieving something at all times. We are going through the process of grief at all times. We're angry, we're depressed, we're in denial. We're grieving things that we lose every day. I just moved. Oh, I'm grieving the loss of my house. I just got a different job. I'm grieving my old job. I'm adjusting to my new job. I got into a new relationship and I left the old and I'm grieving that. And so I want to normalize, you see all day, let's normalize that, blah, 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 and it be stuff that,
that really is kind of weird.
Let's normalize the process of grief and experiencing that in all areas of our life. Because guess what? We're dealing with it whether we call it that or not.
Or not, right. Absolutely right.
And so let's allow us to understand the process so we can better enjoy the process. And, I also want to say, like, the thing about experiencing these hard emotions is that people do not learn without contrast.
Ooh.
If we, somebody came up to me and was like, so Joy, what if I just grew up with everything? My parents was perfect and I was given everything that I wanted and I was spiritually enlightened. Could I just be happy? And I was just like, no, that's not human nature.
At most you would be ignorant.
Exactly. We learn through contrast. We have to experience the other to be grateful for the happy, the elation, the joy, the heartache, the pain, the sorrow. Other than that, we have nowhere else to put it. We learn in boxes. We either put something in the box that's similar or in the box that's different. And we put it in the box that's different, then it expands our brain and we're like, okay, now I have a new section. We learn through contrast. And so feel those hard emotions, because what's the contrast of that? It's the good ones. It's the joy. And you can't experience one without the other. Brene Brown says if you numb one, you numb the other.
Yeah.
If you numb joy, you numb pain. So you're just walking around feeling nothing. So let's fill it in.
Which is a problem in itself.
It is. And then you end up addicted to hookah. The mint watermelon.
It's a thing.
It is.
You're addicted to flavored air.
And you be jumping rope with no underwear on.
Who be doing that?
The same one who did that message. What's his name?
Oh, Sammy?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, he stay thirst trapping. I be like, okay, bro.
I just don't understand what's behind all of that. Like, is it, well, I kind of do, but is it the attention? Because I feel like...
with Sammy, I just feel like we have child star.
Yeah.
And then the issue with most child stars is the progression into adulthood and going, especially with music, going from doing childlike music to I want to rap about my dick. I want to rap about sex.
Is that what his new music be like?
No, I actually really enjoy Sammy. I have like 4 Sammy albums saved. And I think he makes good music.
Good
and I
to know.
think that is a thing. He makes good music with good production, good vocals, good quality. And you just don't catch that line. And to be fair, a lot of the people from his era that came out with him are no longer, super relevant either.
So the jump roping may be working.
And so you do other things to gain attention, whatever I can do to maybe end up on the shade room, because that might make them go listen to my music.
Yeah.
And we've learned with celebrities, they tend to do things around the time that they're going to release a project. So I would not be surprised if Sammy is about to release a project. He comes out with an album like once a year.
Oh.
And, most people who come out with albums every year, they're hit or miss. They're very, good albums. Like, he makes good music, but I just be like, some of the stuff he be doing, I'd be like, I don't believe that he believes some of the stuff he be saying. It just be a little controversial sometimes, and it just generates a little buzz.
Okay.
But yeah, that's that on him. But yeah, so happy we got to touch on that. From a home girl. As always, you can always send us. She told me this in person because this is somebody I actually know, but you can always send us your whatevers, questions, topics, whatever, to mindyourbusinesspodcast1@gmail.com. So that's that. So just running through quickly what has happened in the last
news cycle. Oh, y'all not out there taking these, y'all not taking the Delta variant serious. And you know, I'm gonna say this, and I love the Deltas, okay? But we ain't talking about them Deltas. We're talking about the Delta variant of the COVID-19s. And she is serious, and she is mean. She is hurting some of the kids by causation or by correlation, not necessarily by causation. And you know, and so I'm hoping that, you know, we are part of the media outlet that joins in and says, we know that there are a lot of things that come with vaccinations and a lot of emotions, a lot of trauma comes up. But I am pleading with you to do your own research, protect those whom you love, and get it. Because one thing I don't want you to experience is the grief of losing someone based on a vaccination or based on something that you could control.
And you know, me and my mom had this conversation.
A mosquito done bit me on the
I told
forehead.
you one bit me right here on the side of my face. Big one too. And I'm gonna pass out.
Okay.
One thing me and my mom were talking about the other day was I was saying that, you know, the thing that people tend to negate when it comes to medical stuff is that people do not like to remember that black and brown people have an intense fear of the medical system because we have been used as subjects, we have been used as little test dummies for all kinds of stuff. You literally let us die to see what happens when we come in for medical treatment, or, you know, give us a medication that we weren't really sure of and you knew we weren't sure of it, but you still gave it to us, that kind of thing. Tuskegee experiment. Yeah. Whatever they was out there doing with LSD that one time on an island. All of that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, when you've had viruses out here for years and you ain't got nothing, and then something we've never heard of pops up, and now here's 10 years of research for something we've never heard of. Granted, coronavirus was a novel virus. It came from animals, so yeah, most of us probably didn't know. But people are not quick to just want to inject something in their body. And it was something that I had a lot of anxiety about myself because I was like, ooh, wait. Yeah. And I can't remember, somebody I know was saying that they were iffy because their dad had gotten, maybe it was like a treatment for Agent Orange or something when they were in the military, and almost everybody that got it ended up with prostate cancer, and her father is now deceased. And I was like, you know, when you think about things like that, and you have to wonder, well, am I going to become a zombie? Am I going to turn to a billy goat? More realistically, is this going to put me at a 90% higher chance to develop this cancer? Everybody that got this shot now has these different issues. What if I want to procreate? What's my baby going to be like? These are things, anytime you're putting something into your body, it's a thing. So I definitely understand when people say, I'm just not really with it. Yeah. I definitely get it. What I don't be with is you can't tell me why. Do your research. If I ask somebody, you know, well, what's your reason for not getting in? You hit me with hardcore, like stone cold facts. I can respect that more than, you know, you just telling me something you saw on social media. You don't even know if it's true or not. Yeah. Because that time y'all be sharing shit and I'm like, this ain't even true. You don't even fact check before you share stuff. True. And be out here arguing about it. So, you know, it's a slippery slope, but I think it's just funny how many people talked a lot of cash money stuff about people who did not want to vaccinate their children because of all of these things, whatever. And now here you are, you don't want to vaccinate either.
No, that's a good point.
You know, you were quick to be like anti-vaxxer. Now you don't want to vaccinate either. Now it's my rights, well, it was always your right, technically. It was always your right. But now that it's something dealing with you, now you want to be proactive and say it's not American and I have my rights and we're going to band together. I'm like, that's not really fair because y'all been not letting kids into schools and all other kinds of things all this time.
Yeah.
So I just say definitely do your research. If you choose not to vaccinate, okay, but do your part.
Mm-hmm.
Do your part in protecting, because regardless of how you feel about COVID, government conspiracy, whatever, it's still real.
Yeah, and people are losing their lives.
Yeah, people are losing their lives, so it's still real. Whether they gave it to us on purpose, whether it just really jumped from a cow, whatever, a bat, wherever it came from, it's still real. So
I
do
seen
your
a
part.
cow walking across a little field. It had 2 ducks walking. It was just picturesque.
I would have hugged it.
I just love those cows.
You saw that in real life?
Yeah.
Where?
You know, I stay in Mesquite, so
Oh, yeah.
You know, livestock.
I'd have been like, come to me, cow.
Oh, heifer.
Come to me, ham buggy.
Oh,
Oh, that's a cute little name for a cow.
it make me feel bad about eating beef.
Ham buggy. Alright. So yeah, do your part, protect your neighbor, protect your grandma.
What? Oh, Sephora upset about being married, or not being married, or being divorced.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
what Sephora is doing.
confused.
So Sephora
What
was on the
happened?
Young Jock show or whoever.
Yeah. You know what? It's a one-man show today.
What? I'm literally pulling up the
She ain't even
scholarly
hit.
article. Meet me in the trap. Going down. Young Jock. Anyway, he shares his thoughts on marriage amid divorce from Erica Mena. In quotes they have, it makes everything way more serious than it has to be. Okay. You know, he was saying that, basically, why can't we just have this thing and not have to add the marriage into it? And when I kind of was listening, I was like, you can. You can do it. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to find somebody who wants to do that same thing. And it's not fair to bring somebody into something under the idea that this is what you want, and then you're gonna do them dirty the whole time, and then come out with this, why do we have to have marriage? If that was your stance, that should have been your stance from the beginning, Playboy. It's lots of people who don't believe in marriage, feel like marriage is unnecessary, and you find somebody who believes the same.
Yeah, and you may have been meant to be my boyfriend, but you may not have been meant to be equally yoked to me, connected to me, spiritually married to me, because that's what marriage is. That's what it's designed to be, more of a covenant. And so, you know, we may be talking about something real casual. Yeah, you want to be my boyfriend, but you don't want anything deeper than that, and that's fine. But talk to me about that. Let's get it. But I think my thing is with him is like, I'm gonna have to ask you not to be bringing up and discussing the covenant of marriage and discuss you as an individual, because that's what it's about. It ain't about marriage or the certificate that you got, the judge that married you, the Bible that was read out of, or etc. Blah 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 blah. This is about you and your issues with commitment, your issues with marriage, and whatever you brought into it. And it came out, which it always does. It all comes out in the wash. So what was your deal? What was your issues? And how did you work on those or not work on those? And how did that affect your marriage? Because it ain't about marriage. It's about you. It's always about you. If you got a complaint, if something going on, you got an issue with it, something ain't right, it's too serious, if you making it too serious, that's all your stuff. That ain't nobody else's. So you got to take responsibility. You are accountable for your actions. Own up to your shit.
And I think it's just weird that he's saying that marriage makes things too serious. Bro, marriage is serious. What do you mean? You are literally entering in to a business deal
Where everything is shared.
where everything is shared.
Unequivocally.
You literally have to sign up.
Yeah, you do.
You have to sign up. Like, it's serious.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, and let's also not forget, you asked her to marry you.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. You asked her to marry you, so like, what do you mean?
And what is it about you that chose whomever? Because that's what it's about.
Yeah. And so to me, it just, and not that everybody has to follow our same whatever ideals of relationships and marriage, but me and my brother literally were having this conversation today. Once upon a time, marriage was literally like a business deal because women were not able to choose a man, or were not able to provide, needed shelter, needed protection. Men needed to procreate, needed their home taken care of, that kind of thing. And so it was a transactional agreement. We are no longer in it. Well, let me not be like that. In lots of parts of the world, we are no longer in that type of arrangement. Some places,
cultural setting.
Yeah, our culture has shifted to where women are able to take care of themselves. They are able to work. They are able to be a part of the workforce. I suggest you just don't be out here having no kids all willy-nilly if that's going to make you not able to take care of yourself. But men are also able to take care of themselves. So at this point, marriage is purely a choice. It is not a survival tactic. It was once before. It is no longer. So you are choosing this life. You don't have to choose it. And I mean, marriage is not for the weary. I'm not married, but I know it's not a game.
May the odds ever be in your favor, honey.
Yeah. Marriage
that
is
was
not
good.
But we live in a time where people just want to get married.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to get married. They just want to be doing something. They want to be viral. They just want to have a wedding. They don't actually want what marriage entails. They don't want the battle. They don't want to be true to the partner. They don't want to experience things with the partner, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You just want a wedding and to be able to say somebody is your wife, husband when it's cute. And that's why y'all should be failing. And on the other end of it, let's not be ignoring the signs in these toxic people when we're trying to get married. you
True
know,
that.
Because it only amplifies, once somebody has you. Even like when you go from single to a relationship, the things that you saw tend to amplify because at one point they were trying to impress you. Now they're not. So now we're taking it to the next step of marriage. Now you're legally binded to me. It's hard for you to get away.
Yeah. And I'm going to add to that, you got to be healthy enough to see when somebody is unhealthy. And so if what you see and isn't ringing, there's no red flags or anything like that, what is it in you that makes that okay?
Right. So, yeah, he was out here sounding like a fool. Sounding weird. Now, if this would have been a man who was not married, was not out here just having children, wasn't out here while his baby was in the ICU doing Jamaican dances and shit.
Yeah. That's why I was doing it, because, he likes to dance.
That he does.
And I was
like
about to
that's
serve
sneaky.
him.
I just think that that's really weird. I can't imagine being in the ICU. My brand new baby being in the ICU struggling to breathe and shit. And I'm out here doing dance moves.
Oh.
On vacation.
Yeah, that makes me sad.
That's weird. That's just really strange to me. It's really weird. So after you did all that to fight to be in the birth room, it's just weird. But that's what happens when you marry these weird niggas. Next. So then, are we talking about the make black therapy normal or whatever?
I guess so. I don't really have much to say on that. And it's because.
Yeah. Well, me and Mill said we gotta find a way to make therapy cool for the black community.
That's what we trying to do.
It don't have to be cool, low key. Just go if you need it.
Yeah.
Which is also a thing. Lots of black people attend therapy. It's not widely talked about because, it gets a weird response. And to be fair, it's really nobody's business if you're in therapy or not. If you want people to know, great. People don't have to know. But if you need therapy, go get it. It's as simple as that. It doesn't really matter what your mom, brother, dog, cat think. If you need something, if you need a resource, go get it.
Yeah. Y'all go get your money, you go get your stacks and all of that. You go get your mental health together.
Correct. Why is that just
I didn't understand that.
It was weird. I just sent it to you because it was weird.
Yeah. I'm posting mine.
No, sir.
Okay.
That's kind of all we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who needs to mind their business this week? We didn't go over who is minding their business this week. You mentioned someone who was the first trans woman on Sports Illustrated.
Lena, I think was her name.
Yeah, Miss Lena. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, so there was a slew. Where'd it go? Okay, maybe it wasn't on the shade room.
Okay, well.
But there was somebody who was the first trans woman on Sports Illustrated, along with Meg Thee Stallion.
What'd she do?
She caught a cover.
Okay.
You didn't see the pictures?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Okay. Yeah.
They also had Naomi Osaka.
Oh yeah, and she had the little earrings with the taka, with the tennis things. That was cute.
I kind of wondered about her on her picture. She looked a little lifeless. I wonder if it's something she wanted to do. Was it something she was ready to do?
And so that's my thing, because she just released a Netflix documentary, or they released a Netflix documentary of her kind of talking about her and the career field that she's in. And then, we get the media. It's kind of like a media blitz now. And so, I'm just wondering how much of this is what she wants to do, how much of this is affecting her mental health, and where is this going to land her in the long run?
Yeah.
Because
in her pictures, I think she's a beautiful girl, but she just was kind of there.
Yeah. And she was giving stone cold face.
Yeah. And I have noticed a lot of times that artists will have their pictures done and they just be really lackluster, almost like, who thought that this was a good idea? And then it'll come out years later that they were doing this on purpose to the artist. They gave the magazine or whatever a hard time, and so they gave out these lackluster pictures. Because we all know bad pictures if you go viral. Meg Thee Stallion looked great. And so I just kind of wonder if maybe it wasn't Naomi's time.
Yeah.
Was she not comfortable? And to be fair, normally with Sports Illustrated covers, there's a lot of skin.
Yeah.
And if you're not comfortable with that lot of skin,
it's a thing.
Well, how do they feel about,
and
advertising you, putting you out there?
I didn't watch the documentary, but in the very beginning, she was just saying how she generally just does not like the limelight. She does not like the attention, and she feels like it's undeserved attention. And so I'm gonna watch it, but I thought, even just in that little statement, it just translates all over.
So yeah, looking at her, I was kind of like, this is peculiar. There was no genuine smile, emotion on her face. Her bathing suit choices were very, I just kind of wondered. I said, sis did not look at her. Did you see the pictures?
I only seen the one with the tennis earrings, and I was like, oh, that's cute. Then I just kept on scrolling.
Yeah, sis wasn't looking like herself, so I just have to kind of wonder that. There was also, I don't know how you say it, Tinashe. She was on there as well.
So why so many people? Is that normal?
Because the damn magazine is struggling, probably. You see what I'm saying?
It makes me sad.
Yeah, beautiful girl. Just from everything from the makeup to the photography to
That's
the
what I
bathing
be
suit
talking
choices.
about, them nudes though. I need a nude that looks so nude that you think I'm nude.
Yeah. So yeah, she just didn't look.
And they could have did her nude.
That didn't look good.
No.
Like, it looked like I took these. I think that's about the cutest. And it still looks like we took it.
Oh, and what's the name got through doing that one cute. What's the name wrapped up Little Mermaid?
Good. I noticed she started cussing on Twitter and stuff. So I said,
she can?
I said, okay, she must be out from underneath Disney.
She boss to be twerking.
Funny thing. So something came up with Haley. Wait, Chloe.
The twins.
Whichever one.
I'm playing. I know.
Whichever one be making the remixes and is not the Little Mermaid. I think it's Chloe. Chloe. They were talking about sexuality with her because they were saying that, she's become very sexual in just her presence, her energy. And they were saying that this is what y'all were telling her to embrace. Now she's embraced it and y'all are mad. And I was like, sexuality is such a weird thing for Black women. I've always known that this was who she was gonna be. Even when she was younger and they were singing, I would be like, you're giving me a lot of sex appeal, 14-year-old, 15-year-old on this Taylor Swift. But I mean, that's when you kind of come into your sexuality. Though. To be honest, that's when you come into it. And I was just like, what is the right way and the wrong way to exude your sexual energy? And they had all these different pictures of her where, she didn't have on like a lot of clothes, whatever. I'm saying like, be free and blah, 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 blah. And I just think that too, I think it's fair that we don't not make sexual energy or sexy synonymous with naked. Mm-hmm. It's not the same. It's really not the same.
I could be fully clothed in a suit and be sexy. There's one person who does it. I can't think of her name right now, but she wears a whole men's suit, but is sexy.
Zendaya?
She's one of them, yes.
Oh, okay. It's not her though? Mm-mm. Janelle Monáe.
She is also.
Well, because you remember she used to only wear black and white. Mm-hmm. And she always had on like a suit. No. Now she's kind of gotten away from that. And I think that those are also things like marketing things, but also, she was like, I just don't feel like that's what I have to be sexy. Billie Eilish said the same thing. She's recently started not wearing her clothes, but people asked her why she wore such big clothes, and she was like, because I want you to focus on my talent, because if not, y'all are going to talk about my body all the time.
Right.
And I was like, well, yeah.
Very true.
And so I just think, sexuality. I just wanted to say it because when you said something about Chloe, Halle, whatever her name is, whichever one,
The twins.
It made me think about what people were saying with Chloe and about her sexuality. And I was like, I just imagine that has to be hard to be in the limelight. You're 22, 23, however old she is, coming into sexual self, really trying to find who you are, and you're having to do it in front of the camera.
Yeah. And that's my thing. It's like, because in college, y'all remember, like, the girls used to wear their little mini skirts, and they used to be like, I'm in high school. But in college, whatever.
Doing the chicken.
Yeah, like, you got a chance to be sexy and figure it out and get it right and get it wrong and have some weird late nights and some early mornings. Like, you got a chance to feel your way through it. And that's what being an adolescent and growing through young adulthood means. And so, like I said, we talked about contrast. You gotta have that contrast. You have to go to some lessons and some things and some extremes to figure out who you really are. And so we gotta kind of give her space to do that, because if not, then we'll talk about her being an older adult stuck in her child phase where she's talking to random people and riding carousels with monkeys.
And I just think that people need to take some of the taboo out of sexuality. I do think that sexuality and stuff is serious. Because the renovation people don't know how to close the door. Stuff flying all around my eyelashes and shit. But I do think that sexuality is serious, and I think that it is one of those things that if your sexual self is dysfunctional, all areas of your life become dysfunctional. People don't realize how big sex is in their life.
I was looking up a sex therapy certification.
Me too. I do it all the time. Mm-hmm. And I was looking into doing it more, and then COVID happened, and a lot of things were just non-existent. I don't really like virtual things. I like to be in person, get the energy, feel the room. And a lot of people didn't have the time or the resources to scramble and get, because we kept thinking COVID was it'll be okay in about a month. It'll be okay in about a month, and by the time you looked up, it was not okay. And now we have a Delta variant.
Now the Deltas.
But whenever your sexual energy, sexual self is dysfunctional, you feel it in every area of your life. And so I think that allowing people to express themselves sexually in a safe way is probably what's best.
For sure.
I mean, I just think it's hard when you're doing these things in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. When you're a young adult trying to figure it out. And then you also have the industry machine behind you pushing some of it, because we know how that goes. I always say it's very dark. But I just think that give yourself room to be sexual. Give yourself room to figure out what being sexual means to you. Being sexual is not always sex. Sexual energy, sexual self is not always strictly how you have sex with another or who you want to have sex with. There's a lot of things that go into intimacy and sexuality.
Like blinking.
Blinking.
She'd be like,
who be like that?
you?
First off.
Yes, she do. She'd be like,
It'd be the lashes.
and then you'd be like,
but yeah, I mean, knowing sexual stuff, that's one of the things that gives me some sex appeal.
a trivial example, but that's how small it can be. It doesn't have to be a whole outfit for you to be sexy. It could just be simply the way that you smile. The way
you walk, talk. So yeah, just a little side thing, but I think that's kind of what we had.
Yeah, I think that's it. Who needs to mind their business this week for you?
Sapphire.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of did have a little
I mean,
bit,
just,
like it
you
seemed
know,
like he kind of irritated you.
because
Just a small amount.
because he's irritating anyway. Like, what do? You don't do anything.
You know,
We just
that's
kind
a
of
good
know.
question.
We just
Is he
kind
a
of know.
rapper? He's
We
a
know.
rapper.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Sing a song.
Oh, he doesn't.
I don't know. He probably has a single out there somewhere. But we knew him from being Nicki's hype man.
Oh,
He was
so he's
always
a DJ.
no, he was the hype man. He would literally be on. He would literally be on stage with Nicki. That was her hype man.
Okay.
And her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we came to know him. And I really don't know what else he does.
Okay.
You have a nice body. Okay. So I not even to go back onto a tangent, I think it just knowing yourself, minding the business, and instead of getting out here and trying to put out a message to the masses, how about you do the internal work and figure out where you're at? Figure out what you want to be. Figure out what's important to you. Those kind of things. And I think that's kind of what minding your business is. Minding what directly affects you.
Yeah.
The main thing that directly affects you is you.
Okay.
So just, bro, figure that out for us, because you're looking and sounding real stupid, and you're kind of old to be doing this kind of shit.
Well, my people who need to mind their business this week are all of the people who are not vaccinated and don't know why. Just do y'all research, y'all. I want y'all to be as safe as possible. I want your family to be safe as possible. I want you guys to be out there living and thriving, choosing what you want and going for it. And so if that means doing a little bit more research on the vaccination, choosing which one that you want to go with, etc., then I encourage you guys to do that. I think minding your business this week would be tending to that. Okay? Oh, quick question. Do you think that we should be looking at John Legend's side-eye because he was talking to Chrissy Teigen?
Ain't that what he's supposed to do? They're married.
Because my thing is because there was like a tweet that says like, Chrissy Teigen is getting all this heat from being a bully, etc., blah, 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 blah. I'm looking sideways at her spouse because that's who he chose. And I was like,
Well, y'all spouse chose y'all. I mean, to be fair, we and this is when we talked about Chrissy Teigen, I said that not negating what she did or has done, because I don't like a bully, but a lot of y'all are bullies. A lot of y'all are toxic. A lot of y'all ain't shit. And here we are, and somebody chose you. And does that mean that you don't deserve
good
or anything like that? Because if that's the case, don't none of us deserve nothing, because we've all done something, and we've all done something heinous. I don't care what you say. We've all done something that has devastated somebody, disrupted somebody's life. Whether or not they told us is a different thing, but we've all done it.
Yeah.
Been mean to a stranger. Who knows what that stranger was going through? Like, please kill the shit.
Cause
So
somebody know what I did last summer.
probably that man that's gonna be out there waiting in the raincoat, friend, with the hook on.
And I'm just trying to hurry up and shut the door before any more bugs come in here.
That's
I ain't
what I'm
sleeping tonight. Okay. All right, but I just had I hadn't thought about that. But okay.
I mean, your husband chose you, and you're abusive to your kids. Look at you. You disrespect everybody that you meet. Look at you. You're a horrible coworker. Look at you.
You be pulling out 9mm on everybody. Shout out to Medea.
Yeah, because and I think too, a lot of people have normalized the toxicity that they display.
Yeah.
They think it's cute. So I don't really feel the way about John Legend. I mean,
because we go on to the concert.
Yep.
Bigger is love, or love is bigger. It's a good album. I'm gonna get her to listen to it.
I'll be over there looking.
I'm gonna sing him at one of the karaoke's that we go to.
So yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we love you. We're grateful for you. Like, share, comment, and that's it.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Uh-oh.